All right, I think that's going to be better.
Try it again. Are we starting over, or are we still going?
I started it over.
Okay. Are you going to do it again?
Nope, I'm not going to do it again. Yeah, pretty good.
Look how little I look compared to you.
Well, you're
short.
You got the
I'm
feet
reclined.
up. The reclined. There we go. Does that help a little bit? Yeah, it helps a little bit.
There you go.
Hi.
Hi, honey. Thanks for joining me on the couch.
You're welcome. This is not usual, by the way.
No.
I'm going to flip that the screen so I don't keep looking at it. I keep looking at it.
Okay.
There we go. Oh, yeah, it is. I did it. Yeah. Anyway, so you guys saw the video yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. The mini excavator clears acre of trees. So what is it? The cat is out of the bag in terms of
what we're doing.
Yeah, some things that we had been doing that we have not told you guys about.
We're trying to balance how much to share and how much to still keep kind of a surprise on the Kraemer life.
Yeah.
But that all happened. If you watched the video, you'd know that happened during that windstorm that we filmed, which was the last video, some of that. And then we had the really bad snow, and then it got really cold. And now today was 70 degrees.
Yeah, it was quite nice today.
It was shocking.
It was very, very nice. In fact, I didn't even think about the weather at all. It was that perfect today.
It was gorgeous, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, yeah, I didn't even think about the weather at all. It was just a perfect day.
Yeah, just a nice light wind. Very different than not even a week ago was -2.
Yeah.
I don't like how the fluctuations are, but I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be decent temperatures for the rest of the week. It's just supposed to be
Lots of rain.
lots of showers is what it's calling for.
Yeah. So going back to what Katie was saying about balancing between this channel, Keeping It Kraemer, and the Kraemer life, there are times that we talk about the projects that we're doing before we put them out on the Kraemer life. Sometimes we don't. In this case, we didn't. There have been comments about why would I watch the Kraemer life if I can just get everything from the Keeping It Kraemer or vice versa. And so, you know, we're trying to figure it out, but at the same time, we're just gonna, whatever we talk about. But in this case, we decided we wanted to talk about it afterwards because it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So the video that you watched yesterday, it was 4 days worth of work. Not all of the days were full days because of things that happened. And since then, we've had another 3 or 4 days worth of work.
Yeah.
And that video is coming out Friday. Does that mean tomorrow?
No. Well, for them, if they're watching it.
Right. For us, is that tomorrow?
No. Today is Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday. Okay, so.
Oh, hold on. Maybe it's going to be Saturday. I don't know.
Yeah.
Give me a day.
Yeah. So there's lots happening. Most of it has been taken down.
Yes.
Around the south portion of the property. There's still plenty of work to be done around the carport and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So it's going to be probably another few days, maybe another week. I think the project is taking a little bit longer than Katie and I thought it would, and the person doing the work, because initially they were going to burn, and that didn't work out. And so this is a little bit telling you guys in advance, but we decided to just get a giant wood chipper and chip.
Giant.
Yeah, and
huge.
The amount of wood chips we have, it is
piles.
It is absolutely crazy how big these piles of wood chips are.
We are not going to want for chips. We may be like, hey, would you like some wood chips?
Yeah. And then unfortunately the largest pile is a mix of cedar and pine, mostly cedar, so we can't use that in the chicken runs. Yep. Or the chicken coops.
Yeah.
But we do have another rather large pile that is purely just black cherry and some
A little bit of
some pine.
Yeah.
And so that'll be great for the chicken coop. The other ones
for the deep bedding, yeah.
Yeah, the other ones will be good for like landscaping projects or walkways or something like that. Like we'll find good use for it, but it's unfortunate that they mixed. We asked them to not mix, but logistically it was
too much work.
It was way too much work. So
yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, we were originally going to be, because we weren't going to chip the cedar at first because we wanted to keep most of the cedar for posts. But a lot of the cedar, especially, I don't know if people are familiar with red cedar versus like western cedar, like what we were used to. We were used to cedar that when you cut open the log, the red cedar would go all the way to the edges. Here, eastern cedar, it depends on how it was grown, like almost if it was grown like on a hillside or, it struggled more. I guess the red gets larger. That's what Milton had told us when we came, because he had told us when we were walking down to the creek which ones he would think would be good saw logs or good keepers because of the way they were growing. But most of them, like the trees like this, had a center like this big of red. And so that, so it's like this. Which, that's crazy because unfortunately all the white part of that wood is going to rot.
Yeah.
And so we had originally wanted to keep it for post so that we could either use it for a cabin or, we want to do some decking or pole barn or something,
Fencing.
Yeah, all sorts of things. Yeah. And so we ended up chipping a lot of the stuff that we were hoping to save because once we got into it, we realized it wasn't going to last.
Yeah. So now we have a very large pile also of firewood to cut up. And we have quite a few trees that are going to be really good saw logs. So we have a good mix.
Yeah, we do.
And that was just from an acre of...
I don't even know if it was a full acre.
It's not. It's like 3/4 of an acre.
Yeah, if that. I think it's closer to a quarter.
No, I did the map. I did the measurement last night on the map.
Because it doesn't even look as big as my mom's yard. And my mom's only on a...
Oh, I would say it's at least double your mom's yard.
So funny.
It's large.
It's
we
bigger
have a very big open space now.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
We have a view.
And that's one of the neat things about this is we now have from many places around the front of our property, which the south portion is what we're calling the front, is now we can actually see over the neighbor's property and we can actually see the Blue Ridge Mountains.
Yeah.
It's really neat.
It's really pretty, and that was like one of the compromises for this property when there was very few things. I think there was only 3 things on the list that we didn't get when we got this property. Views, a spring, and no mortgage.
Oh, well, yeah. Debt-free.
Debt-free. And so it's like that, and now we have the views, so come on, debt-free, and let's find our spring.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll keep looking. But yeah.
So it's pretty cool. So you guys know that we cleaned and cleared the fence line along the roadside. So this work that we're doing joins up to that. And so now we have 1,000 feet or so of very clean fence line, and we have about 3/4 of an acre that has been cleared. And it's like opened things up quite a bit. Now we have the view, and it makes me feel really good because I like when things are
open and clean.
And there's a lot of cleaning to do still. But by the time we get it all cleaned up, grass starts growing back or whatever's growing back, we're putting in our fruit trees and all that kind of stuff for the food forest. It's going to be so awesome.
Yeah, we're very excited.
Yeah.
And it's like you walk outside now and it's like the first thing you see is you see this beautiful hill and then you see the mountains and some trees. And it's like, oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, it really is.
And it's like the first thing you see when you come outside, and it's like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, when you're driving down the driveway, you see it. When you're walking up from like where the sheep are to the house, you see it. You come up over that little hill, and it's like, oh wow, that's really cool.
Yeah,
it's
it
pretty
opens
stunning.
it up. I think I said that on the video too. It doesn't feel so closed in. Like, I love the privacy of this property, and like, but it does feel a little closed in because there's just so many trees.
Yes.
Everywhere. There's no open breadth like of spaces. So this is a nice open space, and we're talking about putting more trees back there, but they'll be dwarf, they'll be size appropriate, and they'll be not solid over 100 trees in a 3/4 of an acre.
Yeah.
So it'll be good.
Yep. In the video, we didn't talk about. We showed that an oak tree was pushed down, and regrettably that happened. Katie and I went through and marked the trees that we wanted to keep. We didn't realize that there were oak trees in there. We just didn't identify them correctly. And the very first one that he pushed down in the video, it's at the kind of by the roadside. By the time I realized what it was, he had already dug up so many roots that I was afraid that it would have, like if I told him to stop, that it would have really damaged the tree.
And he had already started pushing on it, so it had damaged and scraped up the tree pretty significantly.
Yeah. In hindsight, after watching him have to dig more and more and more and more and more and more and more to get that tree to go, probably could have told him to stop, but I didn't. So it's really unfortunate that we had to get that one oak tree down, because it was a rather good sized tree. We did get some good. We have a nice saw log out of it. We got some good firewood out of it. So we're not putting it to, we're putting it to good use. But it would have been nice to have it up. But we did find that in there were two more oak trees, one larger than that one and another one a little bit smaller.
Side by side.
Yeah, and they're side to side. It's really cool. So you look, if you're standing in the center of that and looking out towards the road, out towards the mountains, they're just two giant oak trees. So we saved those. And given that it's going to be a food forest, and they're dropping acorns,
might as well.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Something else to collect.
Yeah, exactly.
So we ended up keeping a couple of those, and then I think you kept a maple tree too. Is that what it was? A red maple? Yes,
but that wasn't in the food forest zone.
Yeah.
So today we did go a little bit beyond the food forest area, and we had them clear some other trees that were in the area because why not?
They're right there
doing work, and those were just black cherry and cedars. They were really full of vines, lots of poison ivy, lots of.
They were just covered.
They were covered. Right next to that were two red leaf maples, and I said, "Don't touch those; those are staying." And we'll just take the vines and stuff out of them to make them a little bit more healthy. But they're beautiful trees, and I don't want those to go.
Yeah. So we're trying to keep some of the larger trees because we don't want no trees.
Right. No, definitely.
It's not the plan. But as we're clearing this little section, we're both like, mind is racing for the next section to clear.
Yeah, I know. It gets really addicting.
It does. It's like,
well,
man.
Just do that over there, and just do that over there, and do that. And then all of a sudden you have 100 trees piled up. Like, what do I do with all these?
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. We're both really excited about it. And it's going to be, it looks amazing right now.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that it's just,
mud and tracks.
Mud and tracks everywhere. And huge piles of wood chips.
Yeah.
Huge piles of wood chips.
We'll have to show that maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, the pile, just so you know, the largest pile is so big that when I walk up it and I stand on the top of it, I can touch the internet line and the phone line that goes over our property. It is that big.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it can't reach the power lines, which are at the very top of the poles. But yeah, I can reach up and I can touch them. So it's very, very large.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So they'll be back in a couple days after the rain subsides. Actually, may even be a week. We have like, what, 5 days, 6
I think
days of
5
rain?
solid days of rain is what it's forecasting. So it goes between showers and rain and showers and rain and showers. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, then it has to dry out for them to come back and do any meaningful work. So meanwhile, that means I get to go get back into the house and start doing that work. And yeah.
Means I got some books to go through.
Yes, you do.
I do.
Yes, you do. So.
And I was going to say we're inside today because we were outside until, almost 7 p.m.?
Yeah, they didn't stop working until 6:30.
Yeah.
It was already dark. We couldn't film.
Yeah.
We couldn't film while they were working because it's so loud. With the Mini X running, the wood chipper running, the skid steer running, chainsaws running. It
was a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It was like, I'm sure our neighbors are like, oh, peace.
Yeah, it was a lot. So I just wore earphones all day long.
Yeah.
Like, or earplugs.
Yeah. It was funny, like, watching people slow down on the road, like, what is happening? Because for probably the last 10 years, there's been no changes to the front of this property.
Other than just constant growth.
Yeah.
And now there's a clean fence line, and now there's a huge open area. When you're driving down the road, there's kind of a hill, and you kind of go down the hill towards our property. And so you're at the top of the hill, and you're looking at our property, and there's this huge mound of dirt because they dug a giant pit to bury the stumps. There's a huge mound of dirt, and so you're like, "What is that?" As you're driving up, and all of a sudden, it's just this,
Yep. And it's kind of hard to tell it's a mound of dirt because it's so red, like the clay. It's kind of like, what is it? Just looks so out of place.
Yes.
You're just like, what in the world? Because I know when we came over, I was like, what is that? And I was like, oh, that's the dirt pile. Like, it took my brain a little bit to... Anyway, it's funny.
Yeah, I think that pit that they dug was at least 10 feet deep.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was afraid of the dogs falling in or us falling in or somebody, and I can't get out.
Yeah. Help!
Yeah, exactly.
Run. You could see me. I'd just be like, I give up.
Somebody will find me soon, hopefully.
Hello. Hello.
So yeah, that's it. That's the thing. That's it. That's all.
That's it. That's all we got.
That's it.
No more energy.
No, really. Absolutely exhausting. I actually went out and helped them do a bunch of cutting. So I got to use my electric chainsaw and cut things up. Pretty sizable things that I was cutting up too. Things pretty impressive. They're kind of looking at me like, wow.
Yeah. Can I come help you, sir?
Yeah. Yeah. So, pretty cool. It was fun.
All right.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay. Well, we'll see you on the next one.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. You got my phone.
I do. It was gonna drop in the hole.
Oh no. Into the abyss under the couch.
Okay. Let's go.
You got this? Can you do it?
Edit. Yeah. I'm gonna edit and then go to bed.
You're gonna. Oh, it's almost 8.
Oh my God, I'm tired.
I'm exhausted.
I am so exhausted. I'm absolutely exhausted.